Hi, and thanks again for joining me on Sealed for Good. This week we're talking about waterproofing at the top of it all, that is on roofs. And these days roofing systems, I should say, and roofs in designs are becoming more and more popular as we have more highly dense cities and apartment living and apartment building, and even sometimes people that have got two-story homes are utilising those external areas and they are turning them into functional roof areas that they can either have as part of a feature or use it like a garden area or an entertainment area. But let's think about the apartment building. Those guys that are out there that are involved in waterproofing roof areas and your client wants a roof garden, or sometimes they'll have a ballast roof where you've got a lot of pebbles and stones on top of them. You see an image now of that. It's important that you understand what the demands are going to be on a membrane, because it's not just like a balcony or deck that sometimes will be tiled over or have a timber decking finish over it. These are actually almost the key critical envelope part of the building that are going to be holding a lot of water. And the fact is that if you've got a roof garden or a ballast type roof, these roofs will hold, when it rains, and it rains a lot more than what you're going to have in a bathroom, the water will sit there, and depending on how the drainage is designed, even with good drainage, you've got a lot of water, and that can take a while for it to actually soak through. And it's after the rains, there's a retention of water in the garden area or on the ballast that's just soaking through. So you've got the demands of varying temperatures out there, movement of the building structure itself, and a volume of water. And if it's a roof garden area, you've also got potentially like a planter box garden area where there's roots of plants, etc., that could impact the membrane. So you need to understand what are the properties of the membrane you require, and there are some spray-on liquid systems that can be used, and many of you argue that you can't, but there are some of these high-tech durable coatings that can be used in in roof areas that are like garden areas, etc. But if you've got them where you've actually got a lot more abrasion that's going to happen on top of the membrane, either during installation of the roof garden or or over time with the ballast rocks, etc., then you may be going with a sheet system that's got a high level of durability. And I'm not going to get into whose sheet should be used. We've got our GC systems and we've got a system for those areas. However, whatever you are dealing with there, the critical functions, the wall floor junctions, it just doesn't stop with a standard bond breaker. You need to integrate your membrane up the parapet, and also how you totally encompass that area, because it's got a lot of, like I said before, there's a lot of areas of water entry, and you need to nail all those, make sure that you've got it covered. And the other part is the drains. Okay, the drainage detail is so critical, so don't just start waterproofing. You need to understand that the drainage area is functional for the area that's going to be exposed to what the roof is designed for. If it's a roof garden, ballast, or it's just getting weather. So obviously you check your falls, whether you need to integrate that in before or after your membrane system. My view on a roof area like that, always best to have it before you put your membrane down, and then get your floor, whatever that system is on top, be it the garden area or a ballast that goes on top of that membrane. But understand where the potential stresses are in the membrane, because at the end of the day, when it's covered with a roof garden or a ballast, it is going to be exposed to a lot of different pressures. And what you have as well is that where there's moisture just building up on top of the membrane surface, with those temperatures that change out there, it can create all types of stresses on that membrane, a lot more than what you may be used to for if you're dealing with more so balconies and decks where they're tiled over. If you need more advice on this, check with our tech services department, 1-800-650-435, we can help you there. But do not dive into these applications head first without inspecting and assessing all the potential problems and ensuring you've got a membrane system that's going to do the job for you. Until next time on Sealed for Good, I'll see you then.